The Valorian instructor stood 7 feet tall, his exoskeleton gleaming under the harsh lights of the training arena. His species had conquered 43 star systems, subjugated countless worlds, and their military academies were legendary across the galaxy. They did not tolerate weakness. They did not tolerate disobedience. And they certainly did not tolerate humans. Anna wiped the thin line of blood from her split lip, her gray eyes never leaving the instructor's armored face. The slap had come faster than most humans could see, a blur of chitinous plating and centuries of evolved predatory reflexes. Around her, the other cadets stood frozen. Khanat, her training partner, took half a step forward before catching himself. "You will learn respect, human," the instructor hissed through his breathing apparatus, his mandibles clicking with satisfaction. "Your species was granted entry into the Galactic Coalition as an act of mercy. You are soft, fragile. Your bones break like twigs, your skin tears like wet paper. You have no natural armor, no enhanced senses, no evolutionary advantages. You are by every measurable standard inferior." Anna straightened slowly, rolling her shoulders. The other cadets, Valorians, Kreshti, even a hulking Thoraxian, watched with something between pity and contempt. Humans had been part of the coalition for barely a decade. They were the youngest species, the weakest, the ones who had to prove they deserved to stand among the stars. "Permission to speak, instructor?" Anna's voice was steady, almost conversational. The instructor's compound eyes glittered with amusement. "Denied. You will—" "Evolution didn't give us armor because it gave us something better," Anna continued as if he hadn't spoken. "It gave us stubbornness. And a really, really short trigger for righteous anger." The slap came again, even faster than before. But this time, Anna had been expecting it. What happened next would be analyzed in military academies across 100 worlds for the next century. Human reflexes weren't faster than Valorian reflexes, that was biological fact. Human strength wasn't greater than Valorian strength, another fact. But humans had something that evolution had carved into their very DNA across millions of years of surviving on a death world: pattern recognition and adaptability that bordered on prescience. Anna's hand shot up, not to where the instructor's arm was, but to where her brain had calculated it would be in 0.3 seconds. Her fingers closed around his wrist with a grip that made the instructor's eyes widen in shock. Humans were supposed to be weak, fragile. What the Valorians had failed to understand was that humans were only fragile compared to their potential. Their bones were designed to heal stronger after breaking. Their muscles responded to stress by growing. Their pain tolerance could be trained, expanded, pushed beyond what their biology should allow through nothing but sheer mental fortitude. Anna had broken her hand twice in training. Both times she'd returned stronger. The instructor tried to pull away, but Anna was already moving. She used his own momentum against him, a technique as old as human warfare itself. Her foot hooked behind his knee, a joint that every species seemed to share, that universal vulnerability, and she drove her weight forward. The 7-foot Valorian crashed to the mat with a sound like shattering ceramics. Anna was on him before he could recover, her knee pressed against his thorax, her fingers finding the release mechanism for his breathing apparatus. It took her exactly 1.7 seconds. Khanat would time it later on the security footage. The mask came away with a hiss of pressurized atmosphere. The instructor gasped, his mandibles working frantically. The arena was calibrated for Valorian breathing requirements: low oxygen, high nitrogen. For Anna, it was uncomfortable. For the instructor without his mask, it was suffocating. "Here's what you don't understand about humans," Anna said quietly, holding the mask just out of reach. Around them, the other cadets stood in stunned silence. "We didn't climb to the top of our food chain because we were the strongest or the fastest. We did it because we're vindictive, we hold grudges, and we never ever forget when someone draws our blood." She dropped the mask on his chest and stood up, offering her hand. The instructor stared at it for a long moment, his respiratory system struggling with the inadequate atmosphere. Finally, he took it. Anna hauled him to his feet with surprising strength. The instructor reattached his mask, his breathing gradually steadying. When he finally spoke, his voice had lost its contemptuous edge. "Explain," he said simply. "You slapped me for talking back," Anna replied, touching her split lip again. "You wanted to teach me about consequences. Lesson received. But you forgot that consequences run both ways. You don't get to hit someone and expect them to just take it. Not a human. We hit back. It's genetic. Khanat finally stepped forward, his own human features carefully neutral. Instructor, in our military history, we have a saying, don't start fights, but always finish them. Anna just did what any human would do. The instructor looked between them, then around the arena at the other cadets. Something shifted in his compound eyes. Not respect exactly, but a recalibration of assumptions. Your species is inefficient, he said slowly. You feel pain more acutely than most races. You damage easily. You require constant maintenance, food, water, sleep. You are by design suboptimal. Yes, Anna agreed. And yet, the instructor touched his thorax where her knee had pinned him. You fight as if you don't know you're outmatched. That's because we don't care that we're outmatched, Anna said. Humans have been outmatched since before we discovered fire. Every predator on our world was bigger, stronger, had better weapons built into their biology. But we're still here and they're extinct or in our zoos. Want to know why? The instructor nodded slowly. Because we don't quit. Ever. You can break our bones, tear our flesh, even kill us. But you cannot make us surrender unless we choose to. That's not biology, that's culture. That's what it means to be human. The arena was silent for a long moment. Then the instructor did something unprecedented. He bowed his head, a gesture of acknowledgement among Valorians. Dismissed, Cadet Anna. Cadet Khanat. He paused. Tomorrow you will teach the class human close combat techniques. Perhaps there is something to be learned from your stubbornness. As Anna and Khanat left the arena, blood still drying on her lip, Khanat whispered, You know you're going to be a legend after this, right? Anna smiled, wincing as it pulled at her split lip. Good. Maybe the next instructor will think twice before slapping a human. Behind them they could hear the instructor beginning the next drill. But his voice had changed. There was something new in it, something that might have been respect or might have been the first whisper of fear. The humans had arrived among the stars, and the galaxy was learning what Earth's predators had learned millions of years ago. Never corner something that bleeds but doesn't break. Never underestimate a human. ND